Simone, what's it been like to be back in St. Louis and working with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra again?
Pure pleasure, to be honest. I am very, very happy to be back in consecutive years, basically, because I was here last year in April for the gala concerts with Maestro David Robertson. So I was really happy when I got the re-invitation to come back, because it has always been really very pleasant atmosphere to be here and to work with the musicians of the orchestra. I believe that this is my fourth time probably with the orchestra. I must say that ever since I came here, I think this was in 2006 or 7 maybe, I was really positively surprised by the level of the orchestra. Not that I have underestimated its level or qualities of the musicians, it's just that, I didn't know much. So I was really pleasantly surprised, and each time I got back, that sense of mine or feeling was just proved again and again. So you are very lucky people to have the orchestra of such a great level here in St. Louis.
Why are you looking forward to performing Prokofiev's Piano Concerto No. 1 with the SLSO?
Because I simply love this concerto, and it's very rarely played. During the rehearsals was a very interesting atmosphere, because just due to the reason that it's very rarely played concerto, the musicians were not very much used to it. But what I love about the orchestra is that, for example, in this kind of situation, musicians are actually willing to improve and to get to know the music even better. And already at the general rehearsal, for example, it was a totally different story, because it's a short concerto, but lots of material in it. So it's really a good showcase of Prokofiev, not only as a young composer, but also good showcase for everyone that is involved in a piece, in that around maybe 14 minutes of length. So, it has always been pleasant, and I think this week is the debut of the conductor Marcelo Lehninger from Brazil. Very, very nice man, and also a really good musician who is very collaborative as well. So I'm glad that I'm also part of, this season, and I'm sure that things will go very well, and we will all do our best. Yeah.
You worked with Marcelo for the first time last November with the North Carolina Symphony. What have you discovered about him since then, working with him again?
Well, it's a very, natural thing for all of us to improve, if we strive for that, if we try to do that, of course. So I believe that in a condition that, for example, Marcelo is now with a problem with his foot, unfortunately, but brave guy who actually managed to be here in such a condition and still to concentrate on the music and to be so willing and positive to bring out the best of the music. I think the similarity of our, let's say, mentality or cultures, nevertheless, Brazil and Macedonia are so far away. Still, that sun has something to do with, and just that very natural and normal human dimension in the attitude, in the approach towards the music helps a lot in our personal communication, I would say. So I can tell that things are improving, obviously, on his side, which I'm very happy for him, because he does deserve that. And on my side, I also hope that I do not disappoint him, of course, because actually this is the only time that I'm playing Prokofiev No. 1 this season, and I haven't touched it for some time, maybe a couple of years or more, actually, since the time when I recorded both 1 and 3 with the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic and Vasily Petrenko, with whom actually I have played here. That was my second visit when we played Rachmaninoff No. 3. Memorable concerts for sure. I'm also very happy that we had a chance to reunite with Marcelo, and obviously the artistic result is more than positive.
Simone, you were born in the capital of Macedonia, and you still live there. Why?
Home sweet home. Of course, home is where you will feel like that, and that depends on many things. But I guess when someone is used to the surrounding, the mentality, the culture, that has played a big role in my personality in general and my lifestyle, I would say, and everything with it that basically is part of my interpretation on stage, because we all present our personalities on stage through the music. We, the musicians. It's good to be at home where you feel comfortable with the family, with the close people around you, because that gives you lots of how shall I say, spiritual freedom and inspiration and motivation for what you actually do, because you just feel nice, which is so normal. I'm not saying that I will not live somewhere else in the future, but for the moment it's fine, with, of course, challenges in the society, like in every society or in every country, but we should look, positive to life. Yeah, I love it being at home.
How important is it to you to work with young musicians in Macedonia?
I had been a part of we call it Faculty of Music, which would be conservatory here, for 11 years. Unfortunately, I quit almost 6 years ago. But nevertheless, I am still in touch with people and students. And even during that time, I was really very dedicated, and I loved working with the students. And I believe that they also loved me and my personality and the free communication and relationship that we have established. Because, teaching is certainly very, very important part of, at least my personality and my experience that I also share on stage. Of course, not everyone is born to be a teacher or something like that. I am not judging myself now, but obviously the results were really good. And apart from that, I'm also doing many master classes around the world when I'm invited, and I do that with a really great pleasure. For example, next week in Tashkent, in Uzbekistan, where I will be performing for the first time, I will do another master class, and I have done many in this country as well. So it's good to share the opinions. It's good to learn from the younger colleagues, and I think that should be in a very, very natural way, because I'm not a single-minded person, and I'm really open to all the thoughts, but as long as they are really within the logic and nature of the music and everything that is shown in the score, of course. So of course views vary of each person, because each of them have something different to say, and that is lovely, because it makes our life more interesting and more creative, I would say. So the case in Macedonia was always like that, and whenever I was also doing some of the concerts around the country that were with some kind of noble dimension and charity concerts as well, I was always inviting my students to take part in it, to play together four hands piano, or I was inviting more talented people on different instruments or singers from the different regions in Macedonia where I played to take part, just to experience the stage, to experience the magic of the live moment, of the live music. I really love it, and I hope that it will continue that way.
Well, thank you, Simon.
Thank you very much. Many regards to all the listeners of your show and all the supporters of the classical music of the St. Louis Symphony. Please continue supporting and continue coming to the concerts of the orchestra, because we all need that, but we all really get a pure pleasure out of it that lasts for, lifetime.